Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get into the following question. Find the missing side. Alright, so we presented with c is equal to x. Now, if we are ever... Oh, actually, before we get into this video, just a quick word from our sponsor. So today's sponsor is Samsung. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. So let's get into the equation. Okay, so if I'm presented with this information, I can safely assume that this is a non-right triangle. Okay. So with a non-right triangle, we want to use three things. We want to use the law of sine, the law of cosine, and the law, the area, which is the half of AC sine C. AB sine C, excuse me. Okay. Now, I am presented with two angles, or two sides, right? So if I had to draw this, I can say, well, A is equal to 12, B is equal to 14, and then C will be equal to 40, and small c is equal to x. Now I'm presented with this information. Now, I cannot accurately use the law of sine. Why is that? Because I need at least c's value, or I need another angle. So generally, if you have two angles and a side, you want to use the law of sine. And if you have two sides and an angle, you want to use the law of cosine, right? So in this case, I'm going to use the law of cosine. Now, I need to identify what do I want. Well, I want small c. So how can we calculate small c? We can calculate it by saying c squared is equal to b squared, or a squared plus b squared minus 2ab, and then cosine c. Let's input our values. Well, we have x squared. 12 is going to be 12 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 multiply 12 multiply 14, and then cosine 40. Okay, let's solve this equation. Well, 12 to the power of 2 is 144. 14 to the power of 2 is 196. And I'm going to quickly type this in on a calculator. Negative 2 multiply 12 multiply 14. That gives me 366 cosine 40. So how do I solve it from here? Well, I can add these two values together. When I add 144 plus 196, that gives me 340 minus 336 cosine 40 is equal to x squared. Let me just double check something. 14 times 14 is 196. Okay. After I've solved this part of the equation, I can now input this exactly as is on my calculator. To be fair, you can actually do it from this point already. You can input it in on your calculator and you should find an answer. Okay. I just wanted to do some extra steps just for educational purposes. So I'm going to type on my calculator 340 minus 336 cosine 40. And I get approximately 83. Now, basic algebra, how do we solve squares? Well, we can place it in a square root, right? So therefore, I can say, well, x is the square root of approximately 83, and that gives me 9.11. Okay, which I'm going to say, well, x is approximately 9. And now this answers my question. Well, if c is equal to x and x is equal to 9, well, I can then say, well, c is equal to 9. So how do we find c? Well, we use the law of cosine because we have two sides and one angle. And then we do a quick revision. We're going to type in or write our formula. The value we want, we put in front. So if I wanted a square, if I wanted a, I put in a square cosine a. If I wanted b, I put b square cosine b. But because I wanted c square, I can use cosine c. And then we just do a little bit of algebra and solve for x with the square root. Okay.